So I'm going to tie a pike TUBEFLY, this time pink and black. So I have here a 6mm tube, and I suppose we've got 2.5 sort of inches of that here, and we're using a gel spun, a heavy gel spun as our tying thread. So I'm going to put a rattle in this one. So I have a rattle here, and what I did was I put it into a little bit of shrink tubing and then flamed at either end. Stops it sliding out that end and gives us a little bit of a flexible bit here to tie it onto. So I'm going to tie that in here at the back of the fly. The fly is going to be a sort of a hollow type fly, so it'll go out around that here. You can leave that to sit like that, or if you want it to sit down flat, bind it across that little nubbin thing that it has there. And then just soak that in super glue. The gel spun shouldn't split with the pike's teeth, but you never know. So next we take a bit of crystal here. We're going to use here a pink. Now if you go on eBay and search through the Chinese sellers, you should find bulk packets of crystal here, because pike flies use a lot of materials, and you should be able to find batches of this fairly cheaply. So take our bunch of crystal here, there's maybe a dozen or so strands maybe in that there. Take it out here, we're going to tie it in about 2/3 or so along its length, and then fold it back, tie it in, and that will form the sort of core of this tail. And then a bit of glue to hold it in place. Now what we can do is take this stuff, which is crystalline or Angelina fibre, wrap on just a rough bunch of that. Covers up your tying, which isn't overly important, but it's going to create a little bit of a hump here to help us splay out our materials. Now I've taken a few different colours of pinks and fluorescent pinks in synthetic fibre here, and mixed them together. So if you get multiple colours, set them, put them together, grab the tips of it in between finger and thumb of this hand, and then just slap the bunches down onto your hand, and that'll mix your different colours together. But what it'll also do is misalign the tips so that you get a taper to your bunch rather than a block end. So again, with this we're going to tie that on a bit over halfway along its length and allowing it to splay the whole way out around the fly. And then I put on a loose wrap and then tighten it up and allow that to sort of envelop the tube. Here we're dealing with a fly 9-10 inches long probably. So then we fold this back on itself. And once it's folded back, wrap up your tying thread back up to it. You don't have to wrap it over it if you don't want to. You see it's wrapped up to it there, push it back, and then it allows it to expand a little bit and get that sort of hollowness to it. You see, the more you let it expand out, the more volume it will put in it. If you wrap over it, you can get it down tight. If you pull this back really tightly, it'll tighten it down. And then glue that tie-in in place. So I'm take these bulk spools of my large stuff here. So I have that's like a cerise pink. I have this one which is like an orange pearl, but it will it'll accept the colours of the material around it. I'll lay that one on the floor as well, and then this one is just a straight pearl, same thing, taking it out. So now I have these 3 strands together. I start to wrap them round and round my hand. Snap it off, and I now have a mixed 3-colour bunch around my hand in essentially a loop. So then stick the scissors in there and cut that off, and I'll then have a hank of multicoloured material. I grab it in the middle and sort of pull the tips out so that they're misaligned, and then I'm going to tie that on around the shank, let it display all around it. Push it around, and once it's in place, I'll then fold these short ends back. Don't worry too much about those. Those will be enveloped in the rest of the tying. Another bunch of our pink crystal hair stuff. And then another bunch of our pink body material. Now this one I'm going to tie in across its middle. Let it splay all around. Tighten that up. And then fold it back. Do that again. You can comb that out to sort of blend all together. Now take a bit of black ostrich. Take a few strands of that. Place it in on top and fold it back. And then if I take a few more strands, sort of travel around the shank doing that on and back. Glue my fingers together. Any sort of straggly bits are cut off. I'll put a couple of strands of Mirage crinkle on top of it. I just like the accent that they make. And then we'll do a head of black craft fur. You can use black fox if you don't have black craft fur long enough for this here. I just happened to find a woman's coat made out of long black craft fur, and it's much longer than the general stuff you see in the available to us for tying with, so I bought it. So I'm going to take a bunch of that, allow it to envelop the shank of our tube. And don't worry about this bit at the back, it'll actually act as a little flare to give us some volume in the head. So then take all those fibres, fold them back. Wrap it in front of it. Glue that in place and just hold it down a second until it just catches and sets. And then we're going to put another bunch on in front. Same thing again, although this time, just to be a little bit neater with it, I'm going to remove some of the shorter stuff. Set that on. Another little bit just to cover the bottom. I'm going to glue my thread there. Tie that in place just in case it slips. Stroke all that back. Get our tying thread to come through it. Now I'm just going to comb this head material out. Now, this is white GSP I'm using, so I'm just taking a black marker and black that out. Wrap the head with it. stroke the head back into shape, squeeze that, and then we take our super glue again and just run it around our head. What the super glue will also actually do is it'll take some of the black marker out of it into itself because it's a solvent, and that'll even out the colour of the head as well. So don't worry if your head is not totally black, it will become so whenever you super glue it. This is our black and pink TUBEFLY. To finish that, we'll stick some eyes on that. So I think we'll go with a sort of silvery holographic eye on that. I'm going to stick these on with Evo Stick Serious Glue, but not just yet, because the super glue needs to dry, because otherwise, as the super glue is drying, it tends to turn things white somehow. So I find that if you put the glue on to glue the eyes immediately while the super glue is still wet, then it will turn white on you and your glue won't be just as clear. So I'll set that aside, and then when it's done we'll glue on some of these with so serious. We've waited a few hours and the super glue that was in the head is now dry, so we're going to add the eyes. So I have one already on my side, but what I do is I take Evo Stick Serious Glue and I will put a good blob of that onto the back of the eye. And set that on at the position I want. And push the eye down, and the glue from behind it will sort of spread out. It'll go into the materials and it'll glob up a little bit around it, around the eye. And I like to wet my finger so the glue doesn't stick to it, and I just like to push the lip of the glue just over the eye. May not be the neatest thing, but I think it keeps the eye on a whole lot better. And there we have our pink and black pike rattle tube.